Hey, what's going on guys? It's Alex, and in today's video I want to show you exactly how to build out your Google Ads campaign for getting real estate leads. So if you're not running Google Ads for your real estate business, or if you're a realtor and you're looking to get leads, Google Ads are a great way to show up in front of people that are doing Google searches, that are looking for properties in your area, regardless of what the property is. I know there's a lot of ways to get leads as a realtor, so I'm not going to say this is the best way, but it's one of the ways, it's one of the strategies you should be implementing to generate leads for your real estate business or as a realtor. So for any search, I just have two examples here. By the way, if you need help with Google Ads as a realtor, you can click the link down below, book a call with me. I'm happy to take a look at your campaigns or answer any questions you might have about getting Google Ads set up, optimizing your Google Ads, letting you know what's not working, what could be working, and of course, seeing if there is any opportunity to work together to get you more of those real estate leads that you want. Just click the link down below, book a call with me. Happy to look at everything. So jumping into the search here, condos for sale, Myrtle Beach, right? There's 4 listings before you get to the actual organic results. Now, for real estate, in a lot of areas, you won't necessarily see a Google Maps listing show up unless you just search for something like Realtor Myrtle Beach, which there are a lot of people searching for. But for these kind of mid-funnel searches, condos for sale, people that already are in the market looking for something specific, Google Ads is where you want to be showing up, and there are 4 results before you see organic results. When it does come to real estate, it is going to be hyper competitive, and Google, for almost every search, is going to be showing huge like directories, huge businesses like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Trulia, right? Zillow's showing up twice for the same search, Realtor.com. So for local SEO, it's going to be very difficult to actually break into the results organically. And then if we look at Phoenix Home for Sale with Pool, again, super targeted search. There are people looking for this every single day on Google. You can see that there are 4 listings, and then you have Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, all those mega sites that are showing up. So Google Ads, if you have the budget, is a great way to get on top of those, to get to show above your competitors. There are a lot of people clicking on these links, and so if you do want to be generating leads regularly, if you can set it up right, if you do have a budget for it, Google Ads is a fantastic way to do that. And I just want to show you how to do that right now. So let's just go with Myrtle Beach, for example, condos for sale. Jump into Google Ads, right? This is going to be a new campaign. So click on new campaign and then select the new campaign option. And now you have a few options here. It doesn't really matter what you choose necessarily. This is just going to either add or limit the different options and features that you see. So typically for this, I would either go with leads because again, it's a pretty straightforward account, a pretty straightforward campaign setup, or I would just go ahead and select create a campaign without a goals guidance. So you can select that. Now you can see all the different options that you have here. This is one of those industries, niches, real estate, where you will also want to be running display ads as well. Video ads can work as well, but for the purpose of this video, we are just going to go with the standard search campaign. Don't choose Performance Max, right? Don't choose a smart campaign. These are just terrible ideas for real estate, especially if you're just starting out. Over time, you can get into Performance Max, but for most of you, a search campaign is going to be the best place to get started. Now click on Continue. And this is just, Google's just asking you an option. Again, this doesn't really change anything. So you can select this, you can add your phone number, you can add your website, but for the purpose of this video, just click Continue. And we are doing Myrtle Beach, so we'll name it Myrtle Beach. Now keep in mind, unless you have a big budget, you will have the ad groups for the different property types, condos, homes, townhouses, all within the same campaign, unless you have a really big budget or you really want to tighten up targeting. In that case, you want to go as broad as you can with the campaign naming. Not a huge deal because you can change the name afterwards, but I will just name it Myrtle Beach. Now, this is a step that you can basically ignore. If you're in a rush and you don't want to just go through the steps after this, you can just leave it as clicks, but we will be changing this setting afterwards. Do not leave it on conversions unless you have about 25 to 30 conversions in the past 30 days on your account already. But if not, set to clicks. And then if you are on a tight budget, you can set a maximum cost per click bid limit. I will show you in a few moments where to find the amount to set here. Ideally, you want to be getting 10 or more clicks per day. So that'll just determine what to set your budget as. But Make sure you set it to clicks. If this is the only thing you do for bidding, if you set it to conversions, you'll just be wasting a lot of money. You won't be getting a lot of data. And again, bidding for new customers only doesn't necessarily make sense in real estate, so you can just click on next. Now, you have two networks here, Google Search Partners Network and Google Display Network. Since this is for a search campaign, you want to opt out of the display network, only because you don't want to show up on YouTube and relevant sites and videos, just because we're running a search ad, and if the campaign is set up properly, you will not have a leftover budget. And then the other option here, Google Search Partners, for Google Search Partners Network, this is going to show on things like Gmail, on Google Drive, when people are on Google Docs, for example. And again, you don't want to be showing up there, especially because you want Google to use the most of your budget. So also make sure you opt out of that. Now, for location options, the biggest thing to change is right here. Presence or interest, people in, regularly in, or who've shown interest in your included locations. Also presence, people in or regularly in. Because Myrtle Beach is a holiday destination, you could get away with presence or interest so that you have people looking for homes, for example, or condos for sale in Myrtle Beach nationally, right, in different areas. But for the most part, you will be better off choosing presence, people in, or regularly in your included location. Unless you have a really high budget, you'll always be better off with this. It's going to depend for Myrtle Beach only because there is a holiday destination, so you could get away with presence or interest, people in, regularly in, or who've shown interest in your included location. And actually, for the purpose of this video, only because Myrtle Beach is a holiday destination, it's a tourist area, I will leave it as presence or interest. But for any other search, for example, Phoenix homes for sale with pool, you're better off breaking down campaigns based on state if you did want to target people in that state, using data you have from your previous analytics, from Google search, for example. But otherwise, it's always going to be better to choose this option unless it's a tourist area. Then you can go with presence or interest, people in, regularly in, or who've shown interest in your included locations. Now, from here, you can just enter your location here and go with Myrtle Beach, right? Click include, but you can see the targeting here. That does just include this little area. For this, it's fine, but what you can also do is just go with a radius and add Myrtle Beach and do like a 20-mile radius, right? Which can work, which I would do for Myrtle Beach, for example, and just click on save. And then now you have much better targeting there. Languages, if you're running your ads in English, leave them as English. If you want to run Spanish ads, you can set it as Spanish. Don't run Spanish and English ads within the same campaign. Create a whole different campaign for that. Audience segments we can add now. You can also add it later, right? And so you could just add things like this: residential properties, houses, that's for rent, right? It just helps Google with a little bit of extra guidance. It's not necessary to add, and you can always add them at a later date. But here for the targeting settings, always leave it as observation, right? Otherwise, Google does narrow down the campaign quite a bit and will make it difficult for your campaigns to get traction. Moving forward, click on more settings. This is a really interesting one. So in any ad group, you're going to be split testing the ads. You're going to be running 2 ads at all times just so you can squeeze out the best performance possible. For this, you want to just select the do not optimize. Otherwise, Google will choose the best performing ads based on what's best for Google. Even if you're tracking conversions, even if you're telling Google what you want, they will still just optimize for them. If you choose do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely, Google will choose, you're able to choose what's best for you and not Google. So I always recommend that setting. Google still won't optimize them. Google still won't rotate them indefinitely. Google will still rotate in their best performing ad more times than not, but you can still have 2 ads within the ad group and you can still get a little bit more data from there that you can then use to make decisions with optimizing the campaign, landing pages, stuff like that. And now another setting you can add is for the ad schedule, and this just determines when your ads show. So if you are only working, from 9 to 5 during the week, you can just select 9 until 5 p.m. This is if you are only wanting to answer phone calls right away, for example, or get back to leads right away. You can just have your ads showing 9 to 5, and then you can even choose Monday to Fridays, for example, and then just click on next. I always like to skip this, but you can try it out. Now, this is where we will build out the keywords and ad groups, or the ad based on the ad group. So to find out the ad group, right, for this case, it's going to be condos for sale. So we will just change it to condos for sale, right? But let me just show you how to do the keyword research really quickly, and then where to find what different ad groups you could have. So click on tools, it's going to open the keyword planner right here. Click on discover new keywords, add your area. Here you have to just add Myrtle Beach, right? Myrtle Beach, for example. And you could actually even add South Carolina as the whole targeting area. But again, for this, now you can just add your condos for sale, your keyword, get results. So not a huge demand. Let's just change that to South Carolina. And then you would actually change that as well for the targeting on the campaign. So you can just include South Carolina as a whole. That does bring things up quite a bit. As you can see, there are a number of different condo keywords here. So you can see another one showing up. You see apartments you can see townhomes for sale. You can also see apartments for sale, right? So those would be different ad groups that you would have, right? So you would have a townhomes ad group. You would have an apartments ad group, right? You could even have a new condos or a new townhomes ad group. It really depends on what you're offering and what your targeting is. If I was working on for a client, I would just go to download keyword ideas, download it into Google Sheets. You can open a Google Sheets and then go through all the keywords to find the best ones to add, and also build out the various ad groups for your campaign. But because I'm just showing you guys how to quickly get it started, I will just use this method. Now from here, you would just paste them in. You want between 5 and 10. For this one, it's not necessarily going to be a huge amount of keywords that we can add to the campaign. Condos near me. That's going to be a tricky one. Like, it's hard to say if this one is a buyer intent or just a search intent. Condos, and you can just have condominium for sale. Right, and then just add one more. There was another great one here. But that's not necessarily for Myrtle Beach. Right? And that's why we would just have the Myrtle Beach targeting. Condos for sale. You can just check here. Myrtle, M-Y-R, Beach. Right? Huge. These are actually much better keywords here. Condos for sale, Myrtle Beach. Beachfront condos, oceanfront, right? These actually show a lot better options. Myrtle Beach Resort, condo for sale. That's actually different intent, so we wouldn't want to add that. And you can see here, this one is Myrtle Beach under probably 500K. Myrtle Beach Apartments, oceanfront condos for sale. So you could make that one its own ad group, or even your own ad. Probably an ad group under 500K. Oceanfront. There we go. So now we have some great keywords here. This one I did add in quotations. That makes it phrase match. That means it's a lot more likely to show up for a search that's condos for sale Myrtle Beach. If you leave it as broad match, it'll show up, how to sell a condo in Myrtle Beach, or how much do condos for sale cost in Myrtle Beach. Phrase match will make it a lot closer to what people are actually looking for. And then what you'd want to do over time is probably shift it into exact match. And you can see that this one is phrase match. I will leave these as broad match just to show you how to quickly change them afterwards. And now, here's where you just add you could do, whatever your URL is, screalestate.com/Myrtle Beach is good, right? And then here you just have Myrtle Beach condos. Now, always make sure that you include a display path, just because it's going to make people a lot more likely to click through to the ad if they see it relevant to what they're looking for, which is condos for sale in Myrtle Beach. Now, Google does give you some options here, not necessary to add those, right? You could say Myrtle Beach condos for sale. Explore our, right? You could do explore our Myrtle Beach condos. No, explore. See our Myrtle Beach condos. Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos fits, right? Check out our Myrtle Beach doesn't fit. Check our condos, right? And then you would add, for example, Myrtle Beach condos for sale. Myrtle Beach, right? Myrtle Beach, oceanfront, real estate doesn't fit, oceanfront, condos. No, we already have that one. Yeah, so you want to add between like 5 and 10. These are pretty good already, right? Condos from, and you could just do like 500K, for example. Or that seems quite high, from 200K. Someone's going to see that. They're going to be a lot more likely to click through. It's relevant to what they're looking for, right? Condos for sale, Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach condo listings, just like that, right? Now from here, and then what? Buy a Myrtle Beach condo. These are really good, by the way. Perfect ad already. Now in the description, it's going to be something similar, right? Check out our wide range of Myrtle Beach condos for sale. Find your dream condo today, right? Something like looking for a condo in Myrtle Beach. Oceanfront, luxury, luxury, and more. Give us a call today, right? Really great description. It's encouraging people to call through. It's providing people with information of what they're looking for. And that's fantastic. That is already going to be a lot better than your competitors where it's like, you know, apartments for lease, North Myrtle Beach homes, Myrtle Beach LC condo sales, which is not terrible, but not great. And then condos for sale, Myrtle Beach. This is the best one here. Now, the next thing you want to add is site links. And now I'll just quickly show you guys. Site links are what you see here. Available inventory, about the builder, home, plans, location, gallery. So you want to add things like, for example, Myrtle Beach listings, right? So that someone sees that, or you could add something like condo listings, contact our agent, right? So you see these two listings, you see these two site links, and you're a lot more likely to click through if you can look at listings. You can contact the agent, right? They're likely to click, they're going to land on the site, they're able to get in touch with you. That makes a lot more sense, right? You can also add callouts, and callouts look something like this. Browse our listings, 78, 200 plus condo listings, right? Myrtle Beach condos. So that just adds it to the bottom of the ad here, and it just again encourages people to click through, actually land on your site, actually fill out a form, actually call you, for example. And you can also add additional asset types. Always add your phone number, right? Add lead forms if you want. This doesn't necessarily perform that well on Google Ads, but always add your phone number. And when you're done, Google does have some recommendations for you here. Not exactly relevant unless you missed something, which you shouldn't have if you follow this through. And the ad strength typically doesn't matter. There's not a whole lot you can do with a listing with headlines about real estate. They are going to be pretty straightforward. Another thing to keep in mind is when you're done, you will want to split test the ad, and you can do that by pinning headlines, right? So I like to pin a headline so that every single listing, every single time someone sees an ad, it's going to see buy a Myrtle Beach condo or see our Myrtle Beach condos, right? It's just going to cycle through these two headlines, but you want to split test that in a different ad or within the ad group, but in a different ad. Now from here, and also on aged campaigns, you can add images. So also make sure you add images as well, because it's a fantastic way to get people to click through. These ones, I don't think, some of them have images, some of them don't, but it just looks like this. It can show up on the bottom as well, depending on how the ad is structured. And that just makes it a lot more likely for someone to actually click through, land on the page, and give you a call. Now click next, and this is where you choose the budget. So for Myrtle Beach, how you can find this out, a good budget in any area, is if you want to be selling condos, if you want to be getting leads for condos every day, the bids here are actually quite low. So you would set here a range that would get you about 10 clicks per day. So if you look at the range, top of page bid low range is 65 cents up to $1.66. I would say for about $10 per day, $10 to $20 per day is going to be a good budget to get 1 or 2 calls probably per day coming in with an aged account for these kind of searches for this particular area, for this particular offer. And that is where you would set that. And again, just to show you guys, the low range are these two ads at the very bottom, and the high range are these two ads. This ad in the first position will command the highest cost per click, and this is going to be the lowest cost per click typically when it comes to the Google ad auction. Now, just for the purpose of this video, I will just add 1 cent so I don't get charged. Now you could just click on next. Now Google's going to go over the campaign, look for any errors to let you know if there's any issues, and there's just a few more settings I want to show you. If it's all good, Google will let you publish the campaign, and then from here you can just go ahead and publish the campaign. Google's going to ask you here to set up your Google tag. Make sure you set it up and that you are tracking conversions properly. I can help you with that. By the way, click the link down below, book a call with me if you do need help with that, setting up conversions, everything like that. Otherwise, there are a lot of helpful videos online on how to set that up. Now, exit out of this. Now go to your campaign. Should be one of the newest ones here. We can see we have Myrtle Beach, Bid Strategy Learning, right? Make sure you go and click on the campaign. Now, the first thing you want to do is go to your keywords. Some of them are still broad match. You can change them manually here. That's fine. But a really easy way to do that is just select all, edit, change match types, change all match types, and select phrase match, and then apply. That's just going to run and change that, and that's awesome. Now, go back to the campaign. This is where we're going to change the bidding strategy to one that is going to make sense for us. Now it's on maximize clicks. What you want to do is select the options here, the settings. Go to bidding, and then click change bid strategy, and then select a bid strategy directly, which Google doesn't recommend, of course, because it's not beneficial for them. It's beneficial for you. And choose manual CPC. Opt out of this because we are not tracking conversions, and nor does Google have enough data. And then click on save. This is going to let us choose the best cost per click that we want to pay for ads. You'll see that in the ad group section. If you just hit refresh, it will give us an option to set a max CPC. And as you can see here, the range is between 60 cents and $1.60 for most of them. So the most you want to pay per click, for example, is going to be about $1.25. Not only does this get us more relevant, show the ad to more relevant people, it does just let us spend an amount that we're most comfortable with, right? And so you can set a max CPC. If you find you're not getting enough clicks or impressions, you can slowly raise that up in a way that makes sense for you. But otherwise, this is definitely the best bidding strategy until you have about 25 to 30 conversions, and then you can switch to conversion bidding, and then set a target cost per acquisition there that makes the most sense for you. And that is really about it when it does come to setting up your Google Ads for your real estate business. Really broad overview here. If you did make it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you as always for watching. And don't forget, if you need help setting up your Google Ads campaign, if you have any questions about it, about optimizing it, about strategy, about conversions, you can click the link down below and book a call with me. Happy to take a look at your campaign and, of course, answer any questions you have about setting it up, about getting it to run properly, and see if there is any opportunity to work together to help you grow your real estate business, get you more leads with Google Ads. And yeah, like I said, you guys, thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next video.